Connecting with the divine with your eyes closed is meditation. Connecting with the divine with your eyes open is darshan. Come, let us all now move from meditation to darshan. Slowly, very slowly, please open your eyes.
ஐயா சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர ஐயா சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர ஊரறியே என் பேரறியே உறவறிய தவத்துறவறிய உள்ளொன்று உரம் ஒன்று பேசறிய உமை சிவன் போலே வேறறிய சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர 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 காலையும் மாலையும் கணக்கறிய நாளும் கோளும் நான் அறிய பாலையும் சோலையும் பிரித்தறிய பரம பரஞ்சோதி அடி சிறிய சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர சிவ 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 ரகர ஐயா உணரிய உயிர் உடலறிய மோன பெருவழியை நான் அறிய ஆணறிய பெண்ணறிய ஆதி சிதம்பரம் நான் அறிய சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர சிவ 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 ரகர சாமி உன்னது பொருளது கண்டறிய போகமும் மோகமும் கொண்டறிய ஆசை பேராசை அறிந்தறிய அம்பலமாடியை மறந்தறிய சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர 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 சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர ஐயா சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர ஆகம வேதங்கள் படித்தறிய ஆறு குளங்களில் குடித்தறிய யாகம் யோகமும் செய்தறிய கோமுகம் பார்த்து பரா சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர சும்மா ஒருபோதும் இருந்தறிய சுத்த அசுத்தங்கள் பார்த்தறிய ஆத்மனி வேதனை செய்தறிய அர்த்தநாரீசன் அடி சிறிய சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர சிவ 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 ரகர சாமி ஏடறிய சொல் எழுத்தறிய ஏற்றமும் தாழ்வும் நான் அறிய வீடறிய குடும்பாடறிய சோமசுந்தரனும் மறந்தறிய சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர 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 உணவறிய ஊரும் உணர்வறிய உள்யது வெளியது நான் அறிய கணவறிய நனவறிய கனக சபாவரி அடி சிறிய சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர 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 ஐயா சிவ 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 அரகர அரகர சிவ 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 அரகர அரகர இரவதிய ஒரு பகல.
ஓம் நித்யானந்தேஸ்வர பரமசிவ சமாரம்பாம் நித்யானந்தேஸ்வரி பரமசக்தி மத்யமாம் அஸ்மதாச்சார்ய பர்யந்தாம் வந்தே குரு பரம்பராம். I welcome you all with my love and respect. I welcome all the devotees, disciples, samajis, satsangis, Srimahans, Mahans, Tanedar, Kotari, visitors, viewers, everyone sitting with us all over the world. I welcome you all with my love and blessings. Paramashiva's message directly from Kailasa. Listen. Guru Bhakti gives you the greatest achievement in the life, conscious sovereignty as a gift to you. Listen. The greatest achievement of any conscious being, anyone who is alive, human or animal, anyone who is alive, the purpose of his existence, life, goal, purpose of human life, purpose of any life is conscious sovereignty. Listen. Only Guru Bhakti can make you manifest conscious sovereignty, because only Guru can give you conscious sovereignty. That is why even Paramashiva, when he wants to give you the conscious sovereignty, he manifests as Guru. Listen. When he wants to create, when Paramashiva wants to create, he manifests Brahma, and as Brahma, he does the creation. When he wants to do sustenance, he manifests himself as Vishnu, Parandama, and he does the sustenance. When he wants to rejuvenate, he manifests as Rudra, and he rejuvenates. When he wants to put beings in delusion, he manifests himself as Maya and does that. When he wants to give liberation, conscious sovereignty, he manifests as Guru and gives. Listen. Conscious sovereignty is the greatest achievement human beings should achieve. Conscious sovereignty is the goal of life, purpose of life, reason for the existence of human beings. why the human beings are still alive, the only reason is to experience conscious sovereignty. Understand? Guru Bhakti can give conscious sovereignty as the gift to you, because without even you struggling, it can be given to you as a gift. Understand few things. In your life, the men around you, you need to understand. Women around you, you just need to love them. If you try to understand women, you will be in mess. No. You just need to love them, support them, help them grow, manifest, listen. Anything related to length, rationality, logic, try to understand. Anything related to breadth, art, heart, emotion, love them, love it. Don't try to understand. Understanding is not the unit with which you can work with love, with emotion, with breath. Each dimension as a unit, as a methodology through which you can become part. You can manifest the best things. So understand, logic, intellect, rational, this dimension can be understood. You can reap the maximum benefit from length, logic, rational dimension through the methodology called understanding. You can get the best out of breath dimension, love, emotion, art, heart, by loving, not by trying to understand, but by loving. All the best things you can achieve, you can get the maximum benefit out of depth dimension by simply being ferocious and manifest. The depth dimension, you can't reap the benefit of depth dimension through understanding or by loving. The depth dimension benefits you can reap only by being ferocious, powerful with you and manifesting it. Now listen deeply. I'll give you elaborate examples. Whole Hinduism is focused on human beings experiencing conscious sovereignty. Listen. Fundamentally, mind binds you, chains you through patterns, obsessive, compulsive, reactionary behavior patterns, many other bondages, illusions, delusions. Mind binds you, chains you. It takes away the conscious sovereignty of the human being, and it takes away the best way the human beings can exist naturally, dharmically. a simple human existence. And the best things that simple human conscious existence can manifest, everything is hijacked, taken away, chained, bound by mind. And when you start manifesting ferociousness and break the patterns, manifest powers, your mind is transformed into supermind. Bhagavan Aurobindo elaborately explains the science of making the mind into supermind. I would like to sincerely recommend all of you to read the book, The Divine Life. The whole book is about the science of transforming mind into supermind. So, listen. That book, The Life Divine, that explains the science more detailed, elaborate way. I'll be very happy if all my disciples get that book, all my followers get that book and read. Now let me give you the essence. Listen. The economical independence, social freedom, having the life of multiple choices, luxuries, comforts, having multiple options and choices as freedom, cultural enlightenment. All this, I am not against any of this, but conscious sovereignty is far beyond all this. Listen. Mind gives you the freedom of choices and options by taking away your conscious sovereignty. It is like how the anti-Hindu civilizations, how the people who want to destroy Hinduism, they put the Hindus in jail. Then in the jail, they try to show their compassion and love. Oh, do you want to eat idli or chapati or roti? We will serve anything you want. See how compassionate we are. Hey! Missionary militants and militant missionaries, how they stole our conscious sovereignty by selling lies, abuses to us. They stole our conscious sovereignty. And then they are trying to show that they are bringing freedom for us. Please understand. One of the worst thing done to Hindu civilization is your conscious sovereignty is stolen from you. Listen. Even 100 years before, a practicing Hindu who understands Hinduism used to have conscious sovereignty as the lifestyle, even everyday decisions about his food, his clothes, his jewels, his medicine, his relationships, every decision he used to make out of conscious sovereignty. Hey, when you have stomach pain, the anti-Hindu gang, the militant missionaries and missionary militants give you the option of this chemical, that chemical, that chemical, that chemical. That is giving you the choices, freedom. This cream you want to apply, that chemical you want to apply. So out of your idea about freedom of choices, you choose between any one of these chemical. Without knowing, once you start taking this chemical, now you are going to have a bigger diseases and your body is going to be the income source for them. You are going to be enslaved forever. But if you had a conscious sovereignty, you just know, stop eating. Allow my consciousness to manifest in my body and heal myself. Please understand, in so many levels, your conscious freedom, conscious sovereignty has been stolen with the character of choices and options as a freedom. It's like a child has inherited $1 billion wealth, and one fellow suddenly enters the scene and hijacks the whole $1 billion and gives the option to the child. You want candy or Barbie doll? See, I am giving you so many options. I am such good person. I am taking care of you. Stolen billion from that baby, which is his inheritance, showing few candies and toys and making that baby believe that this fellow is a good guy and protects the baby. Worst thing is, last 100 years, Hindus have started believing like that baby and completely got cheated. The militant missionaries and missionary militants have convinced Hindus. The freedom of choices and options are more glorious, colorful, spicy than the conscious sovereignty. Listen, I am not against economical independence, political sovereignty, cultural enlightenment, having options and choices as freedom, luxuries of life. I am not against any of this. I am just against stealing your conscious sovereignty, showing all this. Understand? If needed, Everything else can be given away just for conscious sovereignty. Conscious sovereignty is worthy of everything. Let me explain conscious sovereignty. Conscious sovereignty means I know I am consciousness. I manifested this body, this life, and I am going to be working on exhausting any bondage, chains put on me in the form of obsessive, compulsive behavior patterns, reactionary patterns, any other bondage put on me, I will exhaust those karmas and break from those bondages. I will be ferocious and break those patterns and liberate myself, manifest powers, and reclaim my conscious sovereignty. This is my life. How many ever births I take, I know this is my life. Having this clarity, and whether you are facing a headache or headache giver or worst thing you think in your life. For some people, poverty is the worst thing. They're ready to die, but they don't want to live in poverty. For some people, death is the worst thing. They are ready to go through anything, but they don't want death. For some people, loneliness is the worst thing. They are ready to go through anything, but they don't want loneliness. Listen. Nothing is worst in your life other than losing conscious sovereignty. Even in the worst situations, if you make strategies, decisions from your conscious sovereignty, you already started living enlightenment. Conscious sovereignty is too important. Don't lose that. As I gave you the example, a rich father dies leaving his billions to his child, and a caretaker enters the scene, hijacks the whole billion and tries to satisfy the baby, cheats the baby with few candy and Barbie doll. That is exactly done by the militant missionaries and missionary militants to Hindus. See the fun? Of course, it's not fun. Thousands of residential schools run in Canada for indigenous children. Only few schools have been analyzed. Only few schools, they started digging. Just from that few schools, thousands of unmarked graves have been discovered. I was not talking about this issue. Today I decided I am going to open my mouth. All of you know it's going on all over the world. Listen, these missionary militants and militant missionaries, first they go and convince the indigenous people they don't know how to bring up their kids. First. Second, if they are not able to convince, they accuse, terrorize. Oh, your child rights are violated. You guys are not taking care of the children in a civilized way. Indigenous people are either terrorized are seduced. Extremely cunning criminal strategies come in play in multi-level, multi-pronged attack using media, multi-level. Fear, greed, guilt, everything is used. And the indigenous people are convinced that they cannot bring up their kids properly. And then the kids are stolen away from them. Then what happens? Either they are brainwashed in the name of so-called assimilation or killed. Simply killed. I am listening to so many people's testimony. Those kids who escaped horror schools, the horror residential Catholic schools. Now they are all old people. I am hearing many of their testimonies. Oh God, how exactly they have done the same to Hindus. If you go and investigate in India or all the countries where Hindus were there, India, Nepal, Malaysia, Sri Lanka, go and investigate. You will find millions of unmarked graves, and in India they just burn it. Millions of kids burnt. Of course, millions are brainwashed and assimilated with the so-called assimilation and made to believe Hindus can't bring up their kids. Cultured. And worst thing is, Hindus are not waking up to this truth, and much worse is because Hindus are not waking up to this truth, the same gang, same strategy from all over the world, this terrorist gang, international terrorist gang, this international mafia, militant missionaries and missionary militants, same gang, same strategy. They infiltrated my organization and tried to convince my Gurukul parents, my Gurukul kids. Oh, you Hindus don't know how to bring up your kids. And when somebody is not ready to budge for their brainwashing, terrorizing us, oh, kids' rights are violated. Hey, who is coming and talking about whose kids? I want all of you to study how the largest genocide done on the indigenous people in Canada, how the indigenous kids are destroyed, killed. They lost their souls by brainwashing. Whoever is not ready to lose their soul, they have been killed. I want all of you to study. Exactly the same thing is done on Hindus, and even now it is getting done. Exactly, they have done the same thing to my Gurukul. using the international media. Indian media is just shit. It is nothing but shit. Biggest crime against humanity, against the Hindu kids are still happening. No one talks about it. No one thinks about it. I am talking because I personally suffered the extension of this genocide happening to indigenous people in Canada. What was done to indigenous people in Canada? It is continuing. It was done on Hindu kids and still continuing. How this international criminal gang, terrorist gang, the militant missionaries and missionary militant mafia, how they infiltrate the organization, sit inside for years sometime, convince people, whoever can be convinced, brainwash them. Oh, you guys don't know how to bring up your kids. And if somebody is not ready to get brainwashed, terrorize them. Oh, the kids' rights are stolen. Child abuse is happening. God. Wolves and foxes are worried about the goat getting wet in the rain. In Tamil, there is a proverb. ஆடு நனையுதேன்னு ஓனாய் அழுதுதான். Wolves and foxes and culnaries cry, saying, oh, the goats are getting wet in the rain. I want all of you to study and see exactly the same mold is followed. This international criminal gang has that same toolkit. Genocide on indigenous kids toolkit. What was done on the indigenous kids of Canada? Same thing was done on Hindu kids for last 200-300 years and still continuing. I am telling you, when I was born and brought up in Thiruvannamalai roads, if I walk, I can count how many faces I see without the basma and kunkum, the Hindu marks on the forehead. I can count in my finger. And even to the school, if you go, we have a clear memory. The school in which I studied, the headmaster is called Chandrasekhar. If a kid comes without the Hindu forehead mark, as per his family, either Basma or the Urtva Bundra, he will put the Kaudang. It's a compulsory. You have to come with your traditional family face, the forehead mark to the school. Now, if you go to school with any Hindu mark, you will be punished. See, within 40 years, listen, if I stand in the streets of Thiruvannamalai and tell the people of Thiruvannamalai 30 years before, when I studied in the schools, hey, after 30 years in the same place, your next generation kids, your kids will not be able to have the Basma and Kunkuma and freely go to the temple or school. They would not have believed me. Now, if I stand in the streets of Tiruvannamalai, I can count in my hand how many number of people wearing Basma and Kunkuma. In 80s, 99% of the people will be wearing the Basma and Kunkuma, living Hindu life. Now in 2010, now I think 2020, 99% of the foreheads does not have Basma and Kunkuma. Only good news I have is Arunachala never gives up Tiruvannamalai. He protects it because he wants to have a conscious landing pad to land again and again to save the planet Earth. Whenever he wants to land as incarnation, he needs a conscious airport. For that, he keeps the Tiruvannamalai alive, and Tiruvannamalai will be protected. That's the good news. But now whatever I am talking, 30 years before, when I was given Samaya Diksha, Vishesha Diksha, if I told my community people, 30 years after, your kids will neither receive Samaya Diksha, Vishesha Diksha, the habit that will not be there, they would not have believed. But now that is the truth. My family kids do not even know what is called Samaya Diksha, Vishesha Diksha. The whole community do not know. What is Samaya Diksha, Vishesha Diksha? The community which kept the Saivam alive. The community name itself is Saiva Velalar, Adi Saiva Velalars. The kids do not know what is Saiva Diksha, Samaya Diksha, Vishesha Diksha, Siva Diksha. Internally and externally, the crimes done against indigenous Hindus, there is nobody to give voice. If somebody raises the voice, they will be just killed. I would have been killed if I continued to stay in India. Because Paramashiva has protected me and protecting me, now keeping me in a safe place. Kalabhairava is continuously protecting me. I am able to even speak out. I am able to tell this to people. I tell you, all these missionary militants, militant missionaries, this international terrorist gang, international mafia gang who infiltrated my Gurukul and destroyed it, don't think you are successful. Maybe you have destroyed my Biddi Gurukul, but now you can't reach me, you can't touch me. The Kailasa, Paramashiva has given me enough powers and protection. Listen. The great news I have is this powers and power manifesting science is still alive with me. Now it has become too powerful because last 3 years, I have not touched anyone, initiated anyone, sitting in samadhi, overflowing, bubbling. The moment this pandemic is over and Kailasa opens, you will see I will demonstrate thousands of my kids floating in the air, levitating, manifesting all kinds of powers. I will visibly demonstrate and show to the world the power of Hinduism, power of conscious sovereignty. The good news is, Paramashiva has given me politically sovereign, safe place to teach the science of conscious sovereignty and transmit it. And still I have enough kids and parents who understand what is being done to me and to my Gurukul. It is attack on the conscious sovereignty of Hindus. Understand, I am talking in multi-level. How your own mind binds you and takes away your conscious sovereignty, and how externally the terrorists, the militant missionaries and missionary militants entered, penetrated, infiltrated our Gurukul and tried to destroy our conscious sovereignty. Using the same method, the way the kids were killed in Canada. I tell you, this gang which infiltrated into our Gurukul, they actually want to take over the Gurukul and kill the kids. After slowly, without media attention, in few years they would have done it. They would have either driven out the kids, whoever is not ready to go, whoever wants the enlightenment science, conscious sovereignty, they would have killed those kids. The good news is, I have powers and the science of power manifestation still alive in me. That's one. Second, still I have so many wonderful parents who understand the science of conscious sovereignty and what has been done to me and to my Gurukul. And many of even my kids have started understanding. I want all my kids to study how the indigenous kids of Canada were killed by the militant missionaries and missionary militants, and how the same gang infiltrated our Gurukul. One side convincing the parents, oh, you guys don't know how to bring up your children. Other side terrorizing me, trying to terrorize me and the organization. Oh, children are abused and the children rights are taken away, and hey, if you really want to do something good, go and stop your religion killing indigenous kids all over the world. And do you know the funny thing? Even this animal rights gang and all will come to India only to attack Hindu rituals. You see, in Hindu rituals, we have a ritual called Jallikattu, where they play with the bulls and not a single bull is harmed with any weapon or anything. It is teaching the bulls the resistance power. It is literally like helping the bulls to develop powerfulness. They attack this Jallikattu, but they don't bother about killing the animals and eating for meat. The meat eating and meat exports, they don't stop or they don't even question. They support killing, but they don't support the animals being rejuvenated and refreshed and revitalized. And it is such blatant, like they say, oh, animals are abused, animal rights are violated in this Jallikattu Hindu ritual. I want all of you to know Jallikattu is a Hindu ritual. It is done in Vishnu temples, Devi temples. It's a temple ritual. No Jallikattu bull will be eaten even if it gets the natural death. No question of killing. Even if when it has a natural death, it is given a burial. It cannot be eaten. Branding Hindus as animal right violators. See, if there are 3 hotels, Hindu hotel, Christian hotel, Muslim hotel, constantly you attack Hindu hotel, abuse, put false accusations. It means what? You are making people to go and eat in the Muslim hotel and Christian hotel, brainwashing them. This is exact attack happening. Attack Hindu schools, Hindu education systems constantly, cunningly. So they are forced to go to the Muslim schools and Christian schools. Get converted. And unfortunately, Hindu parents are not realizing. I will produce now and show you guys. The power of conscious sovereignty is 10,000 times greater than any school education you can give in Christian schools and other religious schools. I'll show you guys. This is what the militant missionaries and missionary militants were afraid. This fellow, this Nithyananda, will create a seed bank. He will demonstrate it. He will create a model. They know their infrastructure is based on money supply. Mine is based on conscious supply. Mine is sustainable. Theirs is unsustainable. When the money drains out, the infrastructure they created, the structure they created will collapse. I can see already. When the illegal money inflow into India for conversion, illegal conversion is stopped, many of the conversion activities stopped, and many people who even got converted are coming back to Hinduism. It's an unsustainable model. Understand? Because by giving money, how long you can keep people in your religion? You guys are money givers. I am conscious giver. Mine is sustainable system. I'll show you how sustainable system is mine. Sustainable model is mine. Listen. I want all the Hindus to wake up. The multiple level your conscious sovereignty is stolen. See, once your conscious sovereignty is stolen, once your cognition, realization, deep understanding about Hinduism, cosmos, enlightenment, science is taken away from you, then it is so easy to take away your political sovereignty, make you economically dependent, make you a beggar. And then they can act, they are great givers, charitable people. I tell you. Charity done after stealing the conscious sovereignty is the worst cruelty. Study how those schools which killed thousands of kids in Canada, how great charitable they were. Study, you will understand exactly what is happening to Hindus in India, Malaysia, Singapore, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Cambodia, all the Hindu countries, which were Hindu countries. Whatever has been done to indigenous people in Canada, in Africa, same is done to Hindus in the whole Asia. We were made to believe as long as we are Hindus, we won't grow. Who wants your growth? They steal, rob our conscious sovereignty and try to serve us, do charity to us. If we retained our conscious sovereignty, these millions of problems today forced upon us would not have been there. Now, we are enslaved to toxic food. Hindus forgot Hindu food. We are enslaved to toxic dressing methods. Understand? If you are wearing mask, you will understand how the mask is suffocating. But after 2-3 years, you will forget it is suffocating. Same way, the jeans is a suffocating dress. But after a few years, you forgot it is suffocating. Mask suffocates your nose, the prana flow. Jeans suffocates the samana flow. Samana means your whole body breathes. Toxic food, toxic dress, toxic medicines, toxic housing style. Everything toxic is dumped on us. Everything we know. See, for thousands of years, our ancient enlightened rishis did so much of research and development and developed this great civilization. just by stealing the conscious sovereignty from us, everything is stolen. These missionary militants and militant missionaries, they know I am going to revive, reinstall the conscious sovereignty to Hindus. Make Hindus awaken to the conscious sovereignty. That is why so much of assassination attempts on me. By the grace of Paramashiva, Kalabhairava is protecting me. And I am revealing these truths to all of you. And I am telling you, once I set the model community, it will spread all over the world. It will just spread all over the world. Even those parents who got brainwashed by the missionary militants will come back. No, Swamiji, forgive me. I made a mistake. I did a mistake. I think my kids should grow in Gurukul. Many people, many parents who got brainwashed and took the kids, now those kids have become druggies. When you get brainwashed by a druggie and take away your kid, naturally your kid will go in that line only. Go. What can be done? Those kids who withstood, I want to tell all those kids who withstood, hey, I tell you guys, I can name all those kids who withstood all this brainwashing and stood strongly, and those parents. I want to tell you all who withstood this brainwashing and threat and stayed back with me in Kailasa. You guys are blessed. I can name each one of you. Each one of you. Starting from Mamadura and Rupini, Skandamata, all the parents and these kids who withstood, all you guys are blessed. You withstood the brainwashing, terrorizing, all attacks. Stayed back with me. You guys will see the best thing of the life, conscious sovereignty. Listen. Anything can be given up, but not conscious sovereignty. Somebody asks, Prabhupada, how many of you know Srila Prabhupada, one of the greatest devotee of Bhagavan Sri Krishna, came to planet Earth, who revived the Krishna consciousness on the planet Earth. I want all of you to read his biography. Somebody asked him, see, he came to West all alone in the ship, had heart attack in the ship while he was traveling to US, but finally reached US and established the Krishna Conscious Society ISKCON, revived, went back to India, built so many temples, and during his last period, before leaving his body, those few days, somebody asked him, whom you think is your best devotee, to whom you want to give the credit of the best tyaga, sacrifice, devotion, whom you will name in your list. He says, I have so many people I have to name. The first name will be one watchman, security guard, with a deep devotion, without getting any salary, just protected my Guru Parampara hut. See, he received a small ashram, a kind of hut from his Guru Parampara, which was practically abandoned when he left India and came to US. It was a small ashram, like a hut. He may not even be legally owning it. It's given from his guru to him. There was nobody to maintain. One devotee. This great Srila Prabhupada was not even having money to pay him salary. But just out of his love and devotion for Prabhupada, he protected that ashram. Now that ashram has become a huge samrajya. He says, that guy who protected the root when I was away, I feel he is the first name I should mention. Because that one person protected, you see, that building, that small hut, still there, it is there in Mayapur. Now where they are building the world's largest temple, Hindu temple, is getting built there. Billions of dollars is being poured and built, getting built there. You go and study, you will understand what I am talking. That small hut, Prabhupada says, that hut is the connection between the glorious past and the glorious future. That's the connecting point. All I inherited from the glorious past and all the ISKCON, all the things ISKCON is going to manifest for the glorious future of the humanity. This hut was the building, this hut is the bridge. So who protected that hut as a watchman? For those, I think 10 years he was outside India. Those 10 years, who protected that hut, he is the devotee to be, his name should be first on the list, to whom I feel grateful. I wanted to tell you all, Tejomayananda sitting all alone in SSJP, Madurai SSJP, and protecting. Abhiramananda sitting all alone in Rajabalayam and protecting the ashram. Sushant sitting all alone and sitting and protecting Rajabalayam Adinam, that Siddha garden forest land. Inside forest, of course it's our private land, inside forest. One brahmacharini, Mahakalananda, sitting all alone and protecting Tiruchengodu ashram, Tiruchengodu Adinam. All of you guys, one brahmachari, Ramanathananda, sitting all alone in the Ichapuram palace in Kailasagiri and protecting that palace of Surangi Samrajyam. Ramanathananda, all of you understand, you guys are going to be the first name when I make the list, to whom I will be grateful, because you guys are protecting the glorious past and the glorious future I am going to manifest. The bridge. Listen. Once this pandemic is over, I start Paramashiva's, with the Paramashiva's grace, I start meeting public and start initiating people, and the Gurukul manifests. All this happens in few years. We will have millions of Kailasavasis. And each of these ashram will be overpopulated. Biddi alone will have at least 10,000 residential Adinavasis. Rajapalayam will be having 200 minimum. Rajapalayam, the Siddha garden will be having 100. Doing agriculture, growing the spiritual Hindu medicine herbs. Madurai SSJP will be overflowing. Ichapuram Palace will have a Rajavidya Gurukul with at least 10,000 kids. All this will simply manifest in next few years. This glorious future and the glorious past, this connecting bridge. That bridge, whoever is protecting now, all you guys are blessed. The parents who withstood the fear and greed attacks of the militant missionaries and missionary militants and stayed back with me, who did not allow the brainwashing, the character assassination done on me, and the character assassination done on Gurukul. All of you are blessed. Shilpa, tell Anil, both you guys are blessed. I can name each one. All those kids are also blessed. All those parents are also blessed. And all my sannyasis who are sitting in each of these properties and protecting, doing the watchman job, all of you are blessed. Be very clear. Even you guys don't know what you are protecting. You guys won the game, won the life. You guys will receive the best things: conscious sovereignty, health, wealth, name, fame, fulfillment. Above all, history is going to glorify you guys for this great work. Because what I am protecting, I know it. And the moment pandemic is over, I start seeing the people and people start receiving the benefits. It will simply be shown to the world. I'm just waiting for the pandemic to be over and the flight services to resume. The moment it starts, you guys will receive invitation. Soon I will be releasing the video, beautiful video. Me walking in the Kailasa forest, beautiful forest. And Shiva Yoga holding my Trishul and walking behind me. And that Shiva Yoga's pet, that lion cub, jumping and trying to play and run around. You guys will receive the video. I'm just waiting for the pandemic to settle down and the flight services to resume for you guys to be able to come to Kailasa and receive initiation. Once I start manifesting, then the world will realize the power of conscious sovereignty. The power of conscious sovereignty need to be given to people. As I said, in every dimension, there are different methodology to work. The dimension of length, logic, analysis, understanding is the methodology to reap the best benefits of the length dimension. Best methodology to reap the benefits of the breadth dimension. Heart is to love, love, love. Best method to reap the benefits of the depth dimension, be ferocious and manifest. Best method to receive and manifest conscious sovereignty is Guru Bhakti. Guru just transmits it. And you just know the power of conscious sovereignty. No negotiation, no political bargaining can bring conscious sovereignty. In Guru Bhakti, you just start manifesting the consciousness in which Guru is residing, and you reclaim, yes, I am also consciously sovereign. I tell you, understand these statements. Conscious sovereignty is far more superior than anything else. And in all this, all the other things can be just given up for the sake of conscious sovereignty. That's what I did. I gave up everything to retain my conscious sovereignty. And finally, I have conscious sovereignty, and everything which I gave up also came back. I am having all the best things along with conscious sovereignty. So don't give up conscious sovereignty for anything. You will have conscious sovereignty and all the things. But if you give up conscious sovereignty for anything, not only you will become a slave and you will lose everything. I'll show you guys by making my kids manifest this conscious sovereignty and the powers. I'll prove to you guys. The power of conscious sovereignty. To protect which I went through all these struggles. So much of attacks, abuses. People who cheat Hindus, political sovereignty is important, economical independence is important, cultural enlightenment is important. So drop the conscious sovereignty. They are not going to finally give you even the other things they promised to give you. They will take away your conscious sovereignty. Then It's not that they are going to give you political sovereignty or economical independence or all the other things they promised. That also they will deny and just make you slave. That's all. It's extreme cunning game. Oh, Hindus, wake up! I want you all to contemplate on this deeply. Do Vakyartha Sadas, Jivartha Sadas on every statement I uttered. See, one brahmacharini all alone sitting in Tiruchengodu Adinam and protecting that property. If she thinks, oh, I can be more productive than just protecting this property based on her selfish idea, if she thinks, she may not live there. But she understands the glory of the past and the glory of the future. It's going to manifest. She is protecting the bridge she knows. One brahmachari sitting and protecting the Ichapuram palace. One brahmachari remotely sitting and protecting Tanjavur Adinam. All of you understand you guys are blessed and you are going to be part of the history. I could see clearly how the kids have been stolen from their parents by these residential schools in Canada. How from indigenous people their kids have been stolen and killed. Because the same thing they tried on my Gurukul. Same thing they do on all indigenous traditions and indigenous religions. When you believe, I've seen now many parents are repenting that they allowed their kids to come out of Gurukul or they took their kids from Gurukul. What can I do? You believed a druggist's words, druggist's ideas, and their words they uttered. So naturally you will fall into their consciousness and you will manifest their life. So go. What can I do? Whoever believed my words, you will vibrate with my consciousness and you will experience sovereignty of consciousness, conscious sovereignty. That's all. So I'll announce the timing for Devi Darshan later. Now I want all of you to do the Vakyartha Sadas and Jivartha Sadas about this subject. Conscious sovereignty in multi-level. With this, I bless you all. Let's all radiating. Let's all radiate with integrity, collective integrity. Authenticity, responsibility, enriching, causing. the state, space, powers, being, superconsciousness and Kailasa of Paramashiva. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. I bless you all. Let's all radiate the integrity, collective integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching, causing, living Paramadvaitam, Shuddhadvaita Saivam, the state, space, powers, being, superconsciousness, and Kailasa of Paramashiva. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. The eternal bliss, Nithyananda. Thank you. Be blissful.
श्रीकैलासोन्नतद्वादशान्तश्यामलापीठारूढ श्रीमीनाक्षिसुन्दरेश्वरा भिन्नस्वरूप परशिवपुत्ररत्न कुमार गुरुमण्यतुल्यावतार श्रीपार्वतीस्तन्यपानलब्धदिव्यज्ञान विश्रुत सकल निगमागमसारभूत द्राविड वेद प्रवक्त्रे श्रीमत्परमशिव करुणा समधिगत मुक्तामय चतुरश्रयान गीयमान छत्र चामर श्रीचिह्न काहलादि समस्त बिरदावल्यलङ्कृत ज्ञान विज्ञान चक्रवर्ती सर्वजन संघ सद्यो निर्वाण दीक्षा व्ययापवर्गवर्ष विश्राण जीमूत परमत कलभ केसरी शैव सिद्धांत स्थापनाचार्य श्रीराजाधिराज पाण्ड्य महाराज गुरु क्षपण शाक्यादि महान्धकार निवारण ज्ञान भानु वीक्षणानर्हार्हध्वजोच्छेदन पूर्वक श्रीमद्वृषभध्वजस्थापक शैव समयकर्त्रे सर्वज्ञपीठारूढ श्रीजगद्गुरु श्रीज्ञानसम्बन्ध देशिक स्वामि वागीश सुन्दर माणिक्यवाचक स्वामिनाम् अवतारभूत श्रीज्ञानसम्बन्ध स्वामि पुनरुद्धृत श्यामलापीठ सर्वज्ञपीठ त्रिनवत्युत्तरद्विशततम गुरुमहासन्निधान अरुणगिरियोगीश्वर परम्परागत अरुणाचल सर्वज्ञपीठ गुरुमहासन्निधान कैलास परम्परागत काञ्ची कैलास सर्वज्ञपीठ त्रयस्त्रिंशदुत्तरद्विशततम गुरुमहासन्निधान नित्योत्सव नित्यमङ्गल नित्यकल्याण नित्यरजित कैलास परम्परागत आदि कैलास नित्यानन्दपीठ महासंस्थान महासिंहासन पीठकर्तः साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत कैलास परम्परागत वैवस्वत मनु इक्ष्वाकु हरिश्चन्द्र भगीरथ श्रीरामचन्द्र शूरसेन इत्यादि अनवच्छिन्न सार्वभौम चक्रवर्ति परम्परागत चतुष्षष्टि योगिनी मण्डित चतुष्षष्टि सम्प्रदाय प्रवर्तक मनुधर्म शासन सूर्यवंश प्राप्त सर्वज्ञपीठ सुराङ्गी साम्राज्य मूर्धाभिषिक्त चूडामणे साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत कपिल महागुरु पुनरुद्धृत महानिर्वाणि पीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री महामण्डलेश्वर साक्षात् श्री परमशिव सिंहासनाभिषिक्त समस्त गणनायक श्रीमहागणपतिसमारम्भ अनवच्छिन्नपीठाधीश्वर गुरुपरम्परा प्राप्त अटलपीठ अष्टोत्तरसहस्र श्री अटलपीठाधीश्वर धर्ममुक्तिस्वर्गपुरस्वर्णपीठ त्रयोविंश गुरुमहासन्निधान कैलासपरम्परागत आदिपीठ श्रोत्रिय ब्रह्मनिष्ठ श्रीमज्जगद्गुरु श्रील श्री भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक परमाचार्य स्वामिन् अत्रागत्य परिपाल्य च अस्मान् विज्ञान वितरणेन विजयी भव जय जय।
ஜன்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தன் வந்து உதித்தான் காக்கும் இறையே நட்டின் உருவாய் வந்த களிப்பால் கட்டு கடங்கா மகிழ்வு கொண்டே மலை போல் வரும் துயர் யாவையும் நொடிப்போதினில் பொடியாக்கிட புயலாய் வருவான் துணையென வருவான் ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தன் வந்து உதித்தான் கருவங்களை தடம் மாற்றிட வெடிப்பான் தலை தூக்கிடும் கருவங்களை தடம் மாற்றிட வெடிப்பான் பின் கருணை மழையாய் பொழிவான் தினம் கருணை மழையாய் பொழிவான் பின் கருணை மழையாய் பொழிவான் தினம் கருணை மழையாய் பொழிவான் ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தன் வந்து உதித்தான் எந்தன் மகிழ்வை தளர்த்திடச் செய்வான் நித்தின் மகிழ்வை தளர்த்திடச் செய்வான் எந்தன் மகிழ்வை தளர்த்திடச் செய்வான் நித்தின் மகிழ்வை தளர்த்திடச் செய்வான் ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தன் வந்து உதித்தான் அவன் சரணம் அடைந்தால் அருள்வான், சரணம் அடைந்தால் அருள்வான், அவன் சரணம் அடைந்தால் அருள்வான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தனும் வந்து உதித்தான், வந்து உதித்தான். செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தனும் வந்து உதித்தான், வந்து உதித்தான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தனும் வந்து உதித்தான், வந்து உதித்தான். காக்கும் இறையே நட்பின் உருவாய் வந்த களிப்பால் கட்டு கடங்கா மகிழ்வு கொண்டே, மகிழ்வு கொண்டே. மலை போல் வரும் துயர் யாவையும் நொடிப்போதினில் கொடியாக்கிட புயலாய் வருவான், துணையென வருவான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தனும் வந்து உதித்தான், வந்து உதித்தான். கருவங்களை தடம் மாற்றிட வெடிப்பான், தலை தூக்கிடும் கருவங்களை தடம் மாற்றிட வெடிப்பான். பின் கருணை மழையாய் பொழிவான், தினம் கருணை மழையாய் பொழிவான், பின் கருணை மழையாய் பொழிவான், தினம் கருணை மழையாய் பொழிவான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தனும் வந்து உதித்தான், வந்து உதித்தான். எந்தன் மகிழ்வை தளர்த்திட செய்வான், நித்தின் மகிழ்வை தளர்த்திட செய்வான், எந்தன் மகிழ்வை தளர்த்திட செய்வான், நித்தின் மகிழ்வை தளர்த்திட செய்வான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தன் வந்து உதித்தான், வந்து உதித்தான். அவன் கருணை மழையில் நாமும் இரையாய் மாறக்கூடும். சரணம் அடைந்தால் அருள்வான், அவன் சரணம் அடைந்தால் அருள்வான், சரணம் அடைந்தால் அருள்வான், அவன் சரணம் அடைந்தால் அருள்வான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தனும் வந்து உதித்தான், வந்து உதித்தான். தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தனும் வந்து உதித்தான் வந்து உதித்தான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தனும் வந்து உதித்தான் வந்து உதித்தான். காக்கும் இறையே நட்பின் உருவாய் வந்த களிப்பால் கட்டு கடங்கா மகிழ்வு கொண்டே மகிழ்வு கொண்டே. மலை போல் வரும் துயர் யாவையும் நொடிப்போதினில் பொடியாக்கிட புயலாய் வருவான் துணையென வருவான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தன் வந்து உதித்தான் வந்து உதித்தான். கருவங்களை தடம் மாற்றிட வெடிப்பான் தலை தூக்கிடும் கருவங்களை தடம் மாற்றிட வெடிப்பான். பின் கருணை மழையாய் பொழிவான் தினம் கருணை மழையாய் பொழிவான். பின் கருணை மழையாய் பொழிவான் தினம் கருணை மழையாய் பொழிவான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தனும் வந்து உதித்தான் வந்து உதித்தான். எந்தன் மகிழ்வை தளர்த்திடச் செய்வான் நித்தின் மகிழ்வை தளர்த்திடச் செய்வான். எந்தன் மகிழ்வை தளர்த்திடச் செய்வான் நித்தின் மகிழ்வை தளர்த்திடச் செய்வான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தன் வந்து உதித்தான் வந்து உதித்தான். அவன் கருணை மழையில் நாமும் இரையாய் மாறக்கூடும். சரணம் அடைந்தால் அருள்வான் அவன் சரணம் அடைந்தால் அருள்வான். சரணம் அடைந்தால் அருள்வான் அவன் சரணம் அடைந்தால் அருள்வான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தனும் வந்து உதித்தான் வந்து உதித்தான். தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தனும் வந்து உதித்தான் வந்து உதித்தான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தனும் வந்து உதித்தான் வந்து உதித்தான். காக்கும் இறையே நட்பின் உருவாய் வந்த களிப்பால் கட்டு கடங்கா மகிழ்வு கொண்டே மகிழ்வு கொண்டே. மலை போல் வரும் துயர் யாவையும் நொடிப்போதினில் பொடியாக்கிட புயலாய் வருவான் துணையென வருவான். உதித்தான் வந்து உதித்தான். உடல் வாய்க்கும் நோய் வந்த போதும் உயிர் காக்கும் மருந்தாகி நின்றிடுவான் நின்றிடுவான். மனம் காட்டும் இடர்கள் தீர இடம் சேர்க்கும் வார்த்தைகளை பேசிடுவான் அவன் பேசிடுவான். தலை தூக்கிடும் கருவங்களை தடம் மாற்றிட வெடிப்பான். தலை தூக்கிடும் கருவங்களை தடம் மாற்றிட வெடிப்பான். பின் கருணை மழையாய் பொழிவான் தினம் கருணை மழையாய் பொழிவான். பின் கருணை மழையாய் பொழிவான் தினம் கருணை மழையாய் பொழிவான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தன் வந்து உதித்தான் வந்து உதித்தான். பகை கொண்டு என்னை தாக்கும் வீணத்தமை கடும் சினம் கொண்டு தாக்கிடுவான் தாக்கிடுவான். மிகை கொண்டு நட்பால் என் மனம் என்ன கண் முன்னே வந்திடுவான் வந்திடுவான். சூததுவும் அறியாதொரு மழலை மொழி பேசி சூததுவும் அறியாதொரு மழலை மொழி பேசி எந்தன் மகிழ்வை தளர்த்திடச் செய்வான். நித்தின் மகிழ்வை தளர்த்திடச் செய்வான். எந்தன் மகிழ்வை தளர்த்திடச் செய்வான். நித்தின் மகிழ்வை தளர்த்திடச் செய்வான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தன் வந்து உதித்தான் வந்து உதித்தான். மனம் கொண்ட எண்ணங்கள் யாவும் வெகுண்டோட தியானங்கள் தந்திடுவான் தந்திடுவான். யுகம் காக்கும் நித்யானந்தன் உயிர் தோழனாய் என்னை என்று ஏற்றிடுவான் ஏற்றிடுவான். கருணை மழையின் நாமும் இரையாய் மாறக்கூடும். அவன் கருணை மழையின் நாமும் இரையாய் மாறக்கூடும். சரணம் அடைந்தால் அருள்வான் அவன் சரணம் அடைந்தால் அருள்வான். சரணம் அடைந்தால் அருள்வான் அவன் சரணம் அடைந்தால் அருள்வான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தன் வந்து உதித்தான் வந்து உதித்தான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தனும் வந்து உதித்தான் வந்து உதித்தான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தனும் வந்து உதித்தான் வந்து உதித்தான். காக்கும் இறையே நட்பின் உருவாய் வந்த களிப்பால் கட்டு கடங்கா மகிழ்வு கொண்டே மகிழ்வு கொண்டே. மலை போல் வரும் துயர் யாவையும் நொடிப்போதினில் பொடியாக்கிட புயலாய் வருவான் துணையென வருவான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தன் வந்து உதித்தான் வந்து உதித்தான். உடல் வாய்க்கும் நோய் வந்த போதும் உயிர் காக்கும் மருந்தாகி நின்றிடுவான் நின்றிடுவான். மனம் காட்டும் இதம் சேர்க்கும் வார்த்தைகளை பேசிடுவான், அவன் பேசிடுவான். தலை தூக்கிடும் கருவங்களை தடம் மாற்றிட வெடிப்பான், தலை தூக்கிடும் கருவங்களை தடம் மாற்றிட வெடிப்பான். பின் கருணை மழையாய் பொழிவான், தினம் கருணை மழையாய் பொழிவான், பின் கருணை மழையாய் பொழிவான், தினம் கருணை மழையாய் பொழிவான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தன் வந்து உதித்தான், வந்து உதித்தான். எந்தன் மகிழ்வை தளர்த்திடச் செய்வான், நித்தின் மகிழ்வை தளர்த்திடச் செய்வான், எந்தன் மகிழ்வை தளர்த்திடச் செய்வான், நித்தின் மகிழ்வை தளர்த்திடச் செய்வான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தன் வந்து உதித்தான், வந்து உதித்தான். அவன் கருணை மழையில் நாமும் இரையாய் மாறக்கூடும். சரணம் அடைந்தால் அருள்வான், அவன் சரணம் அடைந்தால் அருள்வான், சரணம் அடைந்தால் அருள்வான், அவன் சரணம் அடைந்தால் அருள்வான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தன் வந்து உதித்தான், வந்து உதித்தான். தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தன் வந்து உதித்தான், வந்து உதித்தான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தன் வந்து உதித்தான், வந்து உதித்தான். காக்கும் இறையே நட்பின் உருவாய் வந்த களிப்பால் கட்டு கடங்கா மகிழ்வு கொண்டே, மகிழ்வு கொண்டே. மலை போல் வரும் துயர் யாவையும் நொடிப்போதினில் பொடியாக்கிட புயலாய் வருவான், துணையென வருவான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தன் வந்து உதித்தான், வந்து உதித்தான். கருவங்களை தடம் மாற்றிட வெடிப்பான், தலை தூக்கிடும் கருவங்களை தடம் மாற்றிட வெடிப்பான். பின் கருணை மழையாய் பொழிவான், தினம் கருணை மழையாய் பொழிவான், பின் கருணை மழையாய் பொழிவான், தினம் கருணை மழையாய் பொழிவான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தன் வந்து உதித்தான், வந்து உதித்தான். எந்தன் மகிழ்வை தளர்த்திடச் செய்வான். நித்தின் மகிழ்வை தளர்த்திடச் செய்வான். எந்தன் மகிழ்வை தளர்த்திடச் செய்வான். நித்தின் மகிழ்வை தளர்த்திடச் செய்வான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தன் வந்தோதித்தான் வந்தோதித்தான். அவன் கருணை மழையில் நாமும் இரையாய் மாறக்கூடும். சரணம் அடைந்தால் அருள்வான். அவன் சரணம் அடைந்தால் அருள்வான். சரணம் அடைந்தால் அருள்வான். அவன் சரணம் அடைந்தால் அருள்வான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தன் வந்து